Okay, I think I did pretty much every single new combos. I did a preview for all of them, and this one is going to be the last one. And if you have been followed Local King's YouTube channel, you probably already know how to color with markers, all kind of different kind of technique. If you are first time viewer, welcome. This is the channel that you can get a lot of great ideas, stamping techniques, good tips, and endless ideas. So today's tutorial, I am actually use this combo set, and this combo set is going to be our new release. So, or June promotion, if you use the coupon code, you can get almost like a 30% off. That's a really good deal. So these new combos that come with a stamp and come with a 3 die cut, because this area they also have die cut. But be very careful, this is small die. A few times I accidentally put them in the garbage and I have to go dig on my garbage can. So make sure you always put it back after you use it. So I'm going to just use one of them, and with a Local King's die cut, because our die cut have these embossing features that make this technique possible. So most of the die cut I see on the market, they are like this. There is nothing between here, so we won't be able to do any stencil. You want to do the tutorial I'm showing you today, you got to make sure that your die cut have a lot of a hollow area. Those hollow area you can use as embossing. Remember before, when we want to do the embossing, we have to have a stencil, we have to have a light table, we have to stylus, we have to have time. But now the technology, all you need is just a piece of rubber mat, and you run to the machine, they will create the embossing. But today's tutorial, I'm actually going to show you how you're going to use this die cut as a stencil. Remember those metal plates, and then you use a dauber, and you're going to color your die cut, and sorry, your stencil, and then that's how you get it. You get the stencil image, right? So in my tutorial, I'm always looking for some new idea to share with you. So if you find out this tutorial, you learn something, and just make sure you give me a thumb up, and also subscribe our YouTube channel. And if you like, please help us to share this awesome channel with your friend. We really need it at this moment. Okay, so today's tutorial is not just about I am going to show you how to use this die cut as a stencil. Also, I am going to show you a secret weapon. I am going to show you how you can create your mini magic mushroom. So this magic mushroom is a Local King's 2020 brand new product. It's a really useful tool, and but the size is a little bit big, so it's good to working for the blending, coloring. But today's tutorial, I really need something smaller, and I show you what I have. I have this kind of dauber, and I have this dauber for a while. You know, the other dauber come with like a black plastic tube. So they are pretty much similar. And then they also have a small size like this. Okay, but the problem is that after you use a while, the foam part start to shade. And then this is what I have is the tip is start to rip off like that. Okay, so the life is actually pretty short for those daubers, and then they are not the cheap. They are probably, I think it's $7.99 for the whole bag like this. The problem is they are good size, but they don't last longer. You probably use it 1 or 2 times, and that's it. So when I create this tutorial, I was using this, but I was thinking, what happens if my viewer doesn't have this tool, and they really want to do the things I'm showing you, and then and I really have a problem with those kind of foam, because 1 or 2 coloring, their life is done. So I was thinking what I'm gonna do, and then I come out the idea like this. So I am going to show you how you can create your blending tool. Isn't that look like a white mushrooms? Okay, and then it works so pretty and it's so cheap to make, and all the material you need, I think you probably already have it at home, and I'm going to show you step by step how to create those mini magic mushroom, and you can use it again and again. And if you find out this tutorial is useful for you, please give me a thumb up. It doesn't cost you anything, just one click. That will be awesome. Okay, so I am going to use this vase 3 combo set. Is 1 stamp and the 3 die cut, and I have my paper here already. I'm going to just do some gold embossing with a folder and some glossy cardstock, nothing fancy, and I use this glitter paper as a backing. Okay, and be very careful with this sheet, this small die cut, because I usually have a problem to find it. Just lost it. So you cut your glitter paper first, and then just cut these two die cut. You have a shape like this, right? And then I have a piece watercolor cardstock, because I just found the watercolor cardstock, they just blending better. If you want to know a little bit more about the paper, I did a review for 10 different kind of papers. Make sure you check Local Kings DVD online DVD library, and then you can easily find out tutorial, and then that way you can figure out which paper is good for what. Okay, so first I am going to just put my die cut on that watercolor paper, right? And I'm going to show you blending first, and then after this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can you're going to make your own mini magic mushroom. Okay, here's something I forgot to mention. Actually, it's very important. You put your die cut on this watercolor cardstock, right? You're going to die cut first, and then you're going to do the embossing before we start the blending. I'm going to explain to you why. So I'm going to do the die cut first, and I'm going to do the rubber embossing. Okay, so this is what I did. I did the die cut first, and then I did the embossing. You can see the paper kind of pushing to the embossing hole, right? And then that's just leave this piece tape here for now, or we can just tape the place that we don't have embossing. Okay, so it's very important that you do embossing, because if you don't do the embossing, the die cut, let me show you. Okay, so those die cut, the racing line, that's your die cut line. The hollow area is your embossing. So if you don't do the embossing, you just put your die cut on top, and then you try to blending the color, nothing going to happen. If you don't believe me, you give it a try. You will know what I'm talking, because that cutting line have some kind of thickness. So basically your mini magic mushroom or your blending tool cannot reach the paper. That's why you have to do the embossing. When you do the embossing, that rubber mat is push the paper to the embossing hole. That way, to make your paper is level with your die cut. So that's how we can do the embossing. Okay, and I'm going to show you. So I create a few already, and then you remember those I show you how to work. They are created by the makeup sponge, but you cannot really blending, because if you try to brush too hard, they will falling apart. I don't know, can you see the sponge part? So you can only use for gently tap. If you kind of rub too much, the surface will start to shade. So you can just only tapping, and then you can make a full feel, and then try to stay one color, one mini magic mushroom. But remember, those makeup sponges, the quality cannot compare with our magic mushroom. Our magic mushroom you can use again and again, but this one a few times they will lose their smoothness. Okay, so I use the Rubbermaker's color impact. You can use anything you like. So we don't need a lot of color. You can just gently tap a little bit. We have to be very gentle with those handmade tool, because if you rubbing it, it's going to broken right away. So what we're going to do is we're just gently tapping it. Okay, like a very gentle. Okay, let me just bring a little bit forward. So you got to remember, do the embossing. If you don't do the dry embossing, you won't be able, this sponge area will not reach the paper. Trust me, because I did it and was wondering how come it's not working, something wrong. Okay, and then so I'm going to just use the same color, okay, and I'm going to, you can always testing a little bit here. This is going to be so pretty. Gently rubbing is okay, but if you push too hard, I guarantee you few coloring and then that's it. Okay, so I'm going to do a little blue green birdie. Okay, gently color. You will find out after you do the dry embossing, because they push the paper to the surface. That's why you can do this. If you don't do the dry embossing, no way you can use your die cut as a stencil. I been there, done that. This is a very smart, clever idea. I'm impressed myself. How did I come up with this? Must be the noodle I just ate. Okay, so gently you can rubbing it or you can tapping it. You can use the side, but just gently, keep it simple. Okay, and then if your this color area, if it's bigger, you just use your regular magic mushroom. This small handmade one is just for the small area. Okay, so let's do this, and then it's so pretty. Don't you like to buy something that you can use it again and again, not just for make a one card? I love to invest my money to buy something that all in one, you know. So just gently rubbing, and then I am going to do a little bit blue. So blue. I don't. This one is kind of dirty. Okay, blue is okay. You can just gently wipe off with wet cloth, but like I say, they are not going to last for a long time, because they are just kind of, you know, it's just one of the solution I try to, you know, make it to working on the small area. If I use or magic mushroom, one tap is one color. You don't get those detail color. Okay. So let's just give a little bit purple here. Okay, like this. And remember, those is not going to last too long, okay? So try to keep the color clean. Let's do a little bit green here. Okay, tapping a little bit. I think that's pretty good. That's it. Add a little bit. So with this little magic mushroom, that way you can working on the detail. So you can see I didn't really color here because there is going to cut it out, right? So no, or you know, if you are not sure, you can just remove that, so that way you don't wasting your coloring. Okay, and then I think that's pretty much about it. I'm going to add a little bit more darker pink, just to give a little bit touch up. And then they can be blending together too. But just beware, these mini mushroom is not for the heavy work. One or two, it's okay. If you want to make a more, they are not going to last that long. But it's very cheap to make, so if it is damaged, you just make one more, right? So I think that's pretty much about it. And let me just add a little bit darker brown to my bird's eyes. Darker brown. So I'm going to just use where is that dark color? There. Okay, kind of just tapping a little bit. Okay, so you can like overlapping the color, like if that's orange and the red, you can add a little bit brown, you can shading a little bit, but try to keep it simple. And then now let's see what it look like. So I'm going to use my brush. Ready? Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then you can see better from the back, and then I'm going to just punch those extra small pieces that I don't need. It's just an idea, right? So if you want to do this, why not? You don't know that your die cut isn't that pretty? I think that's just so pretty. And then Local Kings die cut all have small pieces to pop out. That's how I make this one. So use the die cut as a stencil. Why not? It doesn't cost you extra money, but all you have to do is you make sure you dry embossing. If you don't dry embossing, you know what? I'm going to show you. This is what it look like. First of all, it's going to damage your little mushroom. Your little mushroom is going to die in like a 10 seconds. One blending, your magic mushroom die. I mean your small one die, because they cannot reach you cannot reach the paper. I think that's really pretty. Okay, are you excited? Do you want to learn? Okay, so first of all, time to order some Chinese food, because if you have a chopstick, that's is great to use it. It's good to have it. And if you don't have it, a pencil will do the job too. So I just bought a box of pencil, $2 from dollar store. You know, before I don't shop at the dollar store. I think the poor people shopping in dollar store. But now I found out dollar store is my best friend. You know, I don't know, do you have a Daiso in US or not? The Daiso is like, according from them, it's called like dollar store, right? You go inside, you can end up like $50. But I like the Daiso. Okay, we have like a Dollar Tree, Dollar Llama, so go check it out. Sometimes you can find something, you know, very interesting. Okay, so a box of pencil will do, or because I'm planning to use these again, but remember they are not going to last too long, and but they are so cheap to make. You just use one side and then put it in your pencil holder, and then you can use it again. But they are not going to last for a long time. See, this one I just used a few times and they start already falling apart. Okay, so the pencil that with this eraser is a good idea. With this chopstick is a little bit point, but be careful. Okay, so I have a twine. This twine is better than those sewing tray. So you try to get a little bit thicker because it's easier to wrapping it. And then makeup sponge. Okay, so I can't find those kind of small flat circle size makeup sponge. If you can find some, that will be awesome, because you can is flat, right? But I can't find it, so I only just use what we have. And when you buy the makeup sponge, you pay a little bit attention. See, one is a little bit yellow, one is a little bit white, and I found out the white one is more tighter, is like a more smooth than this yellow one. But I use both of them; they all work. Okay, so first of all, you are going to just cut trimming it, and then you need a pair of a scissor, sharp scissor, okay, and then just just do like this. Try to make a square like that. Okay, so I'm going to just make a tree, and then let's try with the pencil first, and then you're going to put this one on top of that. Okay, don't push too hard. Okay, if you kind of push too hard, you kind of flatten your sponge, and then they are not soft anymore. So we want to kind of like a soft, bouncy, so that way we can use it for blending, right? And then I'm going to just use this twine, and then we kind of just rubbing it, make it look like a bun, like a Chinese or like a dinner roll. Okay, just be careful, just do that. Okay, so just Can you see? Kind of like I don't know, like a dim sum, like those kind of red bean bun. Okay. Or what do you call this one? Meatball. Okay, so you're rubbing it, right? And I keep rubbing it. Okay, try to holding the, do your best. Okay, do a little more. Okay, if you kind of picky, you want to have a nice finish, you can just rub all the sponges area. Okay, make sure it's tight. I think that's good enough with the trimming. See, I already created something like a dauber. Okay, and I'm going to tie the knots. I need the third hand. Anybody give me a hand? Where's the sausage? Sausage doesn't have a hand. Okay, I'm going to just use my teeth. This is safe because it is not really hard. Okay, so you just kind of tied it. Okay, and then that's your mini mushroom. And then if you are kind of picky, you can make a kind of just trimming. Now you create your own blending tool. Okay, this handmade mini magic mushroom is for light use. Okay, you cannot expecting you can use it again and again. And I suggest you only make it when you want to use it, because you leave there is they are not going to last for too long. Isn't that cute? That's how I created this magic mushroom, little mini mushroom, and then that's how I turn my die cut into a stencil. I think it's a pretty unique technique. And I'm going to show you one more with chopstick. The chopstick is different with the pencil, right? So it's much point. So you can make it a little bit smaller, but the only one thing you got to remember, when you put your sponge on top, don't push it too hard. If you push too hard, it's going to poking that sponge, and then you don't get that cushion, right? So like this, just and then so with chopstick you can kind of make a, what's that, little pimple. I think a little bun is better. Is a food. Okay, just turning. So good excuse to order some Chinese food and actually give you 10 chopsticks. 10 chopsticks, so you can make a 20-minute mushroom and just type it. And this one we don't even need to trimming it. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? So I got a bunch of them, and this one is already broken, so you can just easily pick it up, put in the garbage, make one more. Okay, so that's today's tutorial. I hope you like it, and I think this is I already did a preview for all the new coming new release. Have you working on your shopping list yet? Make sure you check a summer release and then the category special. I have an A set, B set, C set, AB set, and the AC set. So those 5 combination, they already have a discount, and then so the 20% off is only on the regular prices only, but the 10% extra discount, you can use it on anything in the store. That means even the on sale item. So for example, or large marker set and the small marker set combination is $82.99. So you get a 60 color plus 24 color and the free shipping for $82.99, right? And then you can use that 10% extra discount. So you get another $8.25 discount plus free shipping. So A set, B set, C set, AB set, and the AC set, they are already discount and they are free shipping. So if you want to purchase all of them, it's better to order the set. So that way you can save the free shipping. If you don't want to order every single new release, you get a 30% off. But don't forget, use this 10% off discount. Without this discount, you only get a 20% off. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to have a more tutorial until the end of our June promotion. And then I hope you're already working on your shopping list. And I will have a more tutorial coming soon. Now I have to go to make the stamp and have them ready and shipped to you as soon as I can. So this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp, and remember, if you like this tutorial, give me a thumb up. I found out you want to be a YouTuber is so hard. No matter how hard I work, the number is not going up. So a thumb up or share this awesome channel with your friend. And if you got nothing to do when you're working on your card project, just go click some of my old tutorial. That's very helpful too. Okay, so thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.